Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Tengu Otogi Zoushi. And we are trying to pursue Yamabuki, but let's see, there's no English walkthrough, so I'm trying to use a Japanese Google Translator walkthrough, which actually doesn't seem to be too bad to follow, except that I'm a little bit confused about what goes where on certain things, because it's like, it has all these choices that seem to have been choices from the prologue. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. I'm just gonna roll with it. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. In the last episode, we met what I believe is Fox Boy here, Mr. Kitsune. I had goosebumps and shivers. Not just from fear, from his atmosphere, that of an unhuman being. Who are you?
Just as I look like, a young man of a noble family.
Without servants? Without notice? In the middle of the night? He was dressed in a fine silk garment, and was neat and tidy. He was no burglar for sure, but his spirit was apparently not human. There, now his eyes are open. He made a grin and giggled.
I would like to say, a man that fell in love with you just came to visit.
Please leave or I'll call for help.
I have cast a spell on them, and they will be asleep till morning.
He raised his hand and beckoned to me.
So, come on now. Come with me.
I won't. I tried to take a step back. It's not your rat yet, buddy. I can't move? My fingers were shaking. I wanted to move my right leg, but it didn't work. But why? Another spell, clearly. Not even an inch. It was like it wasn't my own body. No! Somebody! Yamabuki! Step by step, the man closed in. I wanted to run, but I couldn't move. I panicked by the second. My hands against the pillar were sweating.
Now.
The man reached the bottom of the stairs and stepped up. Somebody! Help! A great wind burst toward the man. The man made a long leap back and punched his right hand up into the sky. The wind bursted again, but was repelled by a transparent shield. Yikes! My hair and kimono wavered, along with the partition in my room. A white lightning bolt hit the man, followed by the sound of a bird's wings close by. Yeah, we definitely know who that is. Our savior!
Sumire!
Yamabuki landed in front of me as I opened my eyes. My savior! Yamabuki!
The mountain told me you were in danger.
The Kurama mountain? Yamabuki held his leaf fan in his hand. The wind and lightning must have been his divine power attacks. Thank you for saving me.
Thank goodness I made it on time.
He gave a sigh of relief and smiled, narrowing his eyes.
Well, oh well. Who would be rude enough to interrupt the love of others?
Love? What are you talking about? You're the one interrupting love here. A bright laughter sounded from behind the smoke.
Tengu, the things I most hate.
Oh, he looks so cute with his little wolf ears and tails. Is he a nine-tailed fox? He laughed, narrowing his eyes. A beast's ears and 3 tails? Ah, 3. He has pointy beast ears, the same color as his hair, and has 3 tails. He's so cute! Just like a fox.
Indeed, I am a fox Ayakashi.
The man nodded and made an elegant bow.
My name is Asahi, the fox Ayakashi.
The fox Ayakashi? You're the only one? His smile was gentle, but had an evil sense behind it. Really evil or mischievous? Asahi-san?
Correct.
Seeing him answer with a smile, Yamabuki stepped aside to cover my body.
Why would a fox Ayakashi come after Sumire?
Why would any Ayakashi go after Sumire? You know why.
I've been interested in her since she was a child. There's no other human with such strong Kenki power.
Precisely. Are you going to eat me? Asahi blinked several times to my words and burst out laughing.
Oh, I would never do such a thing. I heard that Tengu over there wants to marry you.
Still looking directly at me, Asahi-san pointed at Yamabuki. Why do you know that?
They told me.
Asahi looked to the ground. At his feet were the 2 Izunas that attacked us before. The foxes.
They were your familiar. My familiars, Ukon and Sakon. Aren't they cute?
I don't know, they haven't shown us yet. What is your purpose?
I want you to be my wife.
This is so totally like Blackbird. If you haven't read that manga, read it. It's really good. She's like the Senka, and everybody wants her to be their wife, or to eat her. What? I opened my eyes wide to his sudden words.
I came over here to make sure the Tengu doesn't take you away from me. You won't dare take Sumire.
Yamabuki glared at Asahi.
Who asked you for permission? After all, you're also after her powers.
The air surrounding Asahi-san sharpened like a knife.
Shut up.
Yamabuki leapt high into the sky and waved down his leaf fan with might. The two Izunas roared and stepped forward.
Out of the way.
The Izunas were blown away by the great wind from Yamabuki's fan.
Why are you so mean?
Asahi-san jumped close under Yamabuki and reached his hand out.
What? Ugh!
Yamabuki shouted out in pain, not able to avoid the blue flame coming from the short distance. Yamabuki! Yamabuki was thrown back by the flame, flew past me and landed in my room. He was coughing in pain, smoke arising from his chest. Please, my body, move! I wanted to fly to Yamabuki, but I could only watch. Feathers scattered about in the room.
Look at me, not the Tengu.
I startled at the voice whispering into my ear. His slender arms wrapped around my body. Oh! I tried to say his name, but it stuck in my throat.
Let's go.
His gentle voice was so close to me.
Sumire.
Ignoring Yamabuki, Asahi held my body and leapt. He landed in the garden and narrowed his eyes, looking at Yamabuki moan in pain.
What a disgrace. How could you call yourself the Kurama Tengu? Let go of her.
Asahi-san shot a shockwave at Yamabuki as he tried to run over.
Ugh.
Yamabuki was repelled and thrown to the floor. Yamabuki! My scream echoed in the darkness.
Let's go.
Asahi held my body and flew. So, foxes can fly too, huh? Easily jumping over the walls and vanishing into the darkness. Ah, okay. So, the jumping kind of flying, not flying. Drifting off. I opened my eyes to see a dirty ceiling. Spiderwebs were everywhere, and everything was dusty. I don't think I like your place, Asahi. Where am I?
Are you awake?
Asahi-san? I jumped up to see Asahi-san shrugging.
I wished I could see your sleeping face a little longer.
Where are we? Asahi-san stood up as I looked around.
Just as it looks like, a hovel.
Why did you take me here? I glared at him. There was no sign of anybody else in the dark room. Dust was all over the floor, and the walls were cracked here and there. You hurt Yamabuki.
He attacked first, you know.
Asahi-san moved in front of the bamboo screen, half torn apart, and faced me.
I shall explain step by step.
He pointed his finger up and smiled.
After we leapt over the wall, you fell unconscious.
I actually don't remember what happened after the jump.
I tried to take you to my mansion, but the stubborn Tengu was after us.
He made a big unnatural shrug.
I thought we should hide for a bit, so here we are.
There were many mansions, big and small, in the 2nd to 4th streets of Sakyo, where I live. I had never heard of a hovel around. If he wasn't lying, it meant... Are we in Ukyo? Ukyo had poor soil, and there were many of these kind of homes. Mansions no longer inhabited were taken by burglars or ayakashi.
You seem to be very smart. I like smart girls.
Asahi-san smirked.
My familiar are keeping him busy. Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock.
Asahi-san looked at the stars and muttered. At 4, the nobleman would start to wake up and get ready to attend the palace.
What would humans think if he behaves violent without casting a spell of invisibility?
Asahi-san smiled happily to my nervous look. If Yamabuki was seen, people will panic at the ayakashi. Onmyoji will be summoned from the palace to kill him. Are you trying to kill Yamabuki without using your strength? I felt rage in my head, glaring at Asahi.
You truly are a smart one. I'm coming to like you even more.
Stop laughing! I shouted at Asahi, who was clapping his hands. I won't go with you.
I promise you a better life than now.
I don't want to be rich.
Fox Ayakashi are getting fewer and fewer. I need someone with strong powers like you to bring my child.
So you can have regular fox babies with humans? What about other Fox Ayakashi? So that was Asahi's plan. He was trying to use me as a tool to bear his children. You don't even like me, do you? Well, he said he likes smart girls.
I will do what I can. Humans marry each other without love, don't they?
Asahi-san was right. Girls of noble families were to marry ones chosen by their parents, or marry with a man that would visit her to make love for 3 consecutive nights. Yeah, there's a lot more to those rules, but I won't get into that. But even so, I want to be in love. I looked down to see the feather Yamabuki gave me. Yamabuki was not good at expressing his feelings, was pushy at times, but was honest and kind. He protected me with his feather when I was a kid, afraid of Ayakashi. He gave me a beautiful crystal because it had powers against evil. The difference between you and Yamabuki is that he has feelings for me. That would not be substituted by any expensive silk, incense, or furniture. It was feeling that counted, not things. And so, I want to answer Yamabuki's kindness. Suddenly, dust and dirt whirled up in the savage garden. Has he tracked me down already? Is that Izuna?
Ukon? Sakon?
The smoke cleared to show 2 Izunas with their eyes rolled back. Oh no! Did you hurt them, Yamabuki? They were half buried in the dirt, their bodies jerking.
I found you.
His heavy voice echoed, freezing the air around us. Yamabuki landed, his face full of rage, staring at Asahi-san.
It wasn't a lie that your other name is Goho Mao-san.
Yamabuki was surrounded by a purple aura, the same color as his eyes. Goho Mao-san?
Another name for Kurama Tengu. He is said to have strong powers, even amongst the Tengu. Oops.
A white light dashed through to stop Asahi from speaking. Asahi-san reached his arm out to create a shield, but frowned as he looked at his hand.
It burned me? His powers are increasing. It won't be just a burn when we finish this.
Yamabuki kicked the ground to leap close to Asahi-san and waved his fan. A white light dazzled through the room, and I raised both arms. Yikes! A whirlwind emerged around them, and I was blown back to the wall.
Here's one for you. Shut up.
Yikes! The strikes were so powerful, I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was blown to the next room. Hey, you guys aren't being careful of me here. I laid on the floor face down and looked up. Yamabuki and Asahi-san fought without caring the least about the scars all around their bodies. Okay, I'm not quite sure what they meant by that, but I think they mean the structure of the building was weak, and it's getting weaker as their attacks hit each other, maybe? The building will fall apart! Don't they realize? The squeaks... Okay, yeah, I think they mean squeaks, not queaks. The squeaks were getting larger and larger. Shards started to fall from the ceiling. I have to get out of here! Ow! I felt the sharp pain as I stood up and took a step. A wooden shard was stabbing in my foot. I suddenly realized I was barefoot. A pillar was blown away, right in front of me. Yamabuki was making a painful face nearby. Yamabuki! I rushed over. He was bleeding from his mouth.
Stand back. It's dangerous.
He shoved me away, stood up, and quickly crossed symbols with his fingers. A pillar of light rose around Yamabuki and turned into countless needles of light.
Ugh!
They hit directly at Asahi-san, crouching down on the other side.
It's time to finish this.
Yamabuki closed in and waved his fan down with all his might. Asahi-san's right arm was spilling blood.
Ugh.
He moved his left arm slightly, and blood spilled. What? A red fog? A fog appeared before Yamabuki and slowed him down. A blue-white dagger of light appeared in Asahi's hand, and he shoved it into Yamabuki's left leg.
Ah!
The dagger stuck deep inside, disappearing in a moment, but blood was spilling out by the second.
Damn. Ugh!
Asahi-san cried out, hit by Yamabuki's wind at close distance. Stop! Yamabuki staggered as he tried to stand straight. Asahi-san stared straight as he panted with his shoulders. They both looked like they lost consciousness to their fighting instincts. I don't want to see any more. His beautiful amethyst eyes were stained with hatred. I didn't want Yamabuki to be like this. My vision blurred as tears started to drop. I believe I have to say, "No, Yamabuki! Yamabuki, no!" I ran over and jumped on Yamabuki's right arm, holding the leaf fan.
What? Sumire? Jumping into the middle of combat? Are you insane?
Oops. Okay, I'm actually going to have to end the video here because it's giving me a little bit of technical difficulties. So, we'll continue this fight in the next episode. Hopefully I've actually put an end to this fight, and we'll find some more amicable way to finish this. Hope to see you in that next episode or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.